Okay, so to begin the DIY, I'm going to start off by making the body of the penguin. So for this, I am using a Dollar Tree black hat. I'm using the lid of a mason jar, so the inside portion. And this jar I did purchase at the Dollar Tree. You will also need some black hair ties. Now these I purchased at the Dollar Tree as well. You get 15 in a package, so that's a great deal. And then you will need some stuffing or batting. I'll just be using an old pillow that I am not loving anymore, so I'm just going to take the stuffing from that and use it for this project. So to begin, I'm just going to take my lid. Now you could put it either way. I just put it with the white side facing down. So I'm just going to insert that to the bottom of the hat so that it's sitting flat. Next, I'm going to take some of my pillow stuffing and then just insert that in the hat as well. Now, you don't need a whole lot of stuffing to make these penguins, which is really great because then if you want to make a bunch of these, it's really cost effective. So I'm just going to make sure that my lid is right at the bottom, and that should be good. Now I'm just going to take one of my hair ties and I'm going to tie it around to tie off the bottom part of the penguin. Okay. Now we're going to make his head. So all we're going to do now is just open up the hat again, take some more stuffing, and again, you don't need a whole lot, just a little bit. Take a little more. And then you're going to make a smaller ball, which of course is the penguin's head. Now I'm going to take another hairband or hair tie, and I'm going to tie off that second part of the penguin. So now we have his body here, his head here, and then we have this little bit of extra on top that I'm just going to trim down. And the part that I trim off, I will be using it for an accessory for the penguin. The next step now, I'm going to make the little white circle on his body and his face. So I'm just going to take my piece of felt and I'm going to lay it on his tummy, and I'm going to bring it up to just under his neck here, right at his neck. And I'm just going to eyeball how big I want the circle. And then with my pencil, I'm just going to roughly outline a circle to have an idea where to cut this. Now it doesn't have to be perfect, it's going to look cute just the same. So now I will do the same thing to his head, and then I will cut those. So I cut out my felt pieces. Now once you cut it out, you can just lay it on your penguin and then, you know, just cut a little bit more off if you need to, or if it's fine, then it's good to go. Now I will be just using hot glue to glue this down. Again, if I was doing this and I really wanted it to dry well, then I would just use the fabric glue from the Dollar Tree. That is a great fabric glue. I really like using it, but for the purpose of this video, I'm just going to use my hot glue. And also with all the little pieces of felt, I like to keep them because, as you can see, for projects such as this, you may need only a little tiny piece. So if you have your felt left over, just keep it aside for another project because you may need it. Moving on to dressing up the penguin. Now for this, I'll only be using one sock, and I'm going to be cutting this up into 3 sections. So the first will be right here. I'm going to cut off this white tip, and this I will use for part of the accessory for the penguin. Then I will cut right here. This part I will use as the scarf, as well as a little piece for the accessory of the penguin. And then I will also cut right here, and this section will be used as the penguin's hat. So now taking my piece that I will be using as the penguin's hat, just gonna stand the penguin up, and I'm going to slip the white part, so the top of the sock, I'm going to slip it over his head. And then I just bring the sock down up to his neck here like that. Then I'm just going to gather the top, taking another hair tie. I'm just going to tie that off. The top of the hat has this extra part of the sock. Now I'm not going to cut it off. What I'm going to do is, taking my scissors, I'm just going to cut little cuts into the hat. Okay, so now once I've done that, I'm just going to open up, and then I'm just going to pull. Just going to cut these a little more. And that just makes the top of his hat really cute looking. And now with the bottom part of the sock here, I'm just going to take my scissors and I'm going to insert them inside the sock and then just cut right across the top. So now I can open up this piece, and this is going to make our scarf, and as I said, just a little piece for the accessory for the penguin. Okay, so now I'm going to cut it in 3. So I'm going to do 2 sections, and then this last little, which is almost 2 sections. So when I make the scarf for the penguin, I like to do it in sections. So the first thing I do is I take one of the pieces, and then I just make like a knot like that. And I try to make the ends fairly even. Okay, so that's one piece. Now with the second piece, I just wrap it around the penguin's neck. So I'll just put this here like that. So I just wrap it around. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to tuck the end into the scarf. and I'm just going to glue that in place. Okay, so he looks like that. And once I glue those ends in place, then I'm just going to take this piece and then just glue it right in the center, like that. Okay, and now the same as the top of the hat, I'm just going to cut some slits into the penguin scarf. Okay, so I'm almost finished my little penguin buddy. All I have left to do is add his beak and his eyes, and I may add a little bit of blush for his cheeks. So all I did was I just cut a piece of scrap felt that I used for the white in the penguin, and I took some yellow acrylic paint and I just painted the felt with the paint. So that will be his beak. And for his eyes, I will be using the gem stickers by Jot from the Dollar Tree. So just a couple of those. And then, as I said, I'll just add a little bit of blush to his cheeks. I think that it really sweetens them up just a little bit more. Okay, so here we have leftover pieces. This was the extra piece from the scarf. This was the tip of the sock. And this was that extra piece that I cut at the very top of the penguin's head. So what I'm going to do first is just take the tip of the sock and turn it inside out. Then I'm going to take the piece that I used for the scarf, and I'm just going to glue this all the way around the tip of the sock until I get to the other end, and then I will just glue those two pieces together. So now taking my black piece here, I'm just going to cut it. So now it's one long piece. And I'm just going to trim this a little bit because I have some parts that are a little bit thicker. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to cut a little bit off the end because it's a little bit too long. And then I'm just going to fold each end in and glue that down. Fold is facing inside the purse. And now we have our little penguin bag. So now I'm going to put this all together with the penguin, and I will show you what he looks like complete. All right, everyone, so here are the sock hat penguins, and I absolutely love how these have turned out. Now I have the lights turned off a little just so you can see the little penguin on the right with his tea light in his satchel. Now, as I said, I made this little accessory just as an added feature to the penguin. I think that it will be so cute when I give this to my daughter. so she can put whatever she wants in there for her penguin. But right now I just have it filled with some cookies and cream chocolates, so it'll be a little added gift for her along with the penguins. And then, as I said, I added this little tea light candle. This will be my penguin, and I will just be using it for decor, and I think he will look so cute at night when everything is dark and his little candle is lit up. I really am happy with how these two little guys turned out. It was such an easy, fun, and inexpensive DIY to do. Great to do with little kids, and I think these two will make a great addition to my winter decor. So that'll do it for this DIY. I really hope that you enjoyed this. If you did, please like, share, and subscribe to my channel if you haven't done so already. And as always, guys, you take care of yourselves, and I hope to catch you in my next video. Bye-bye.